How we communicate with others is key to how successful we will be in the workplace. Being able to communicate our thoughts, feelings, and ideas in a way that people understand does not usually come natural or easy. There are 4 different types of communication styles: passive, aggressive, passive-aggressive, and assertive communication. Assertive communication is the style that allows us to communicate effectively to others. I will go into detail about the 4 different types of communication styles, how assertive communication, the benefits that come along with assertive communication, and 4 steps that you can take to become more assertive in the workplace. The first communication style I would like to talk about is passive communication. If someone's a passive communicator, they'll usually have a soft voice and they'll be hard to hear. They often don't share their point of view. They're usually overly agreeable. They avoid conflict at any cost. They do not present confident body language when communicating with others. They beat around the bush and sound very helpless or hopeless when communicating. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, there are aggressive communicators. Aggressive communicators often find blaming or accusing people or pointing fingers at people they think are at fault. They use intimidating body language, and their voice is usually loud and has a sharp tone. They make demands or orders, and they use harsh or personal language when communicating. Now, there's a combination of those two, passive-aggressive communication. They usually appear to agree, but they do not. They will not tell the source of a conflict, their concern, but the others around them. They will make subtle digs and sarcastic remarks. They usually keep score or set conditions when communicating with others. Their nonverbal message, their body language, usually contradicts their verbal message that they are sending. They hold back on expressing their concern or providing assistance. And then assertive communication. Assertive communication does not have any of these characteristics as the last 3. Assertive communicators take responsibility for their actions. They take initiative. They actively listen to others, which allows for a 2-way conversation. They speak up with a direct and constructive communication style. They are solution-focused and not finding the blame in others. They have a confident voice and confident body language when communicating, and they make requests or ask for needs. They do not make demands or tell people what they need to do. Assertive communication may come naturally to some, but to some it does not. And if you are one of those people where assertive communication does not come naturally to you, there are steps that you can take to become more assertive in the workplace. Now you're asking yourself, why should I be more assertive? My communication style has worked for me thus far. I think I'm doing just fine. And that may be true, but assertiveness comes along with so many benefits. And these benefits include more self-confidence and self-esteem, respect from others. You can create win-win solutions. You can improve your communication, and you can gain job satisfaction. What are these steps that you can take? Step number 1, use I statements. Using I statements lets others know what you're thinking or feeling without sounding accusatory. For instance, you should say, I disagree with that, other than saying, you're wrong. If you have a request, say, I would like to help with this, instead of saying, you need to do this. And when you make a request, keep it simple and specific. Step number 2, practice saying no. Being an assertive communicator means that you know your limits when it comes to your workload and understanding when you can't take on any more work. It can be hard turning down requests, so try saying no, I don't have time right now. Don't hesitate, be direct when you say no, and if an explanation is appropriate, keep it brief. Step number 3, use your body language. Communication isn't just verbal. Act confident even when you're not feeling it. Keep an upright posture, lean forward a little bit, make eye contact regularly with the person you're communicating with. Maintain a neutral or positive facial expression. Don't cross your arms or legs. And you can practice this assertive body language with friends or family, or even in the mirror in front of yourself. And finally, step number 4. Try to keep your emotions in check. I know, easier said than done sometimes. Conflict is hard for many people, and it may cause you to get angry or frustrated or feel like crying. Although these feelings are normal, they get in the way. So if you are starting to feel like your emotions are taking over, try and take a step back from the situation if at all possible. Recollect yourself and then go back to the situation, and try and keep your breathing slow, remaining calm, and keeping your voice even and firm. Assertive communication allows us to communicate more effectively than the other 3 styles of communication. Because assertive communication leads to benefits such as gaining self-confidence or self-esteem, or earning respect from others around you, it can then lead to greater success in the workplace. With these 4 steps, please remember that if you have silenced yourself for years, or if you get too angry and you get aggressive, assertive communication might not come overnight, and it does take practice. These steps will pay off, and you will see an improvement in the way that you communicate and how others communicate with you. I'd like to end my speech with a quote from John Powell that states, "Communication works for those who work at it."